Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing very good. How about you?
I'm well, thank you. Um, I might sound like I don't have much to say at times because I have to read my notes, but I do.
No problem.
All right. We're going to start with journaling because we have to write down everything that we're going to do. From everything that I'm going to teach you, this one is going to be the most important part because you have to understand why you do the things that you do in the markets or why you look at the market the way that you do.
All right.
Right, so the first one was what is a trading journal, right? So it's more of a diary from what we are or from what we are used to see or hear. We see a trading journal as a way of just writing how our trades went or what our setups were and our results and all. But as much as that is nice, I want you to concentrate on writing your emotions. Let's say before you place the trade or when you were doing your analysis, right? your
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts, things that you think you could have done better, things that you think you should, if you feel like you want to close the trade but you don't know if you should close the trade, you should write all of those things down because it will help you one day when you go through those notes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just writing the things as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I should write. I'm recording this for you. I'll put it on YouTube, but then it will be on private, so you only have access to it.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
I think I can also write some notes for you down.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Thanks.
we why do we need this trading journal, right? We want this trading journal to identify your strengths and your weaknesses because when you write your emotions, right? If you write something down today, and then what I normally do is I make sure or I try my best to read my notes from the previous day before I place any trade. So if there are any trades that I have that I didn't know, I can at least see, okay, when you get a wrong trade or when you lose, this is what you did. Maybe this time try not to do that. So that's one of the most important things that I do. And then
Oh, wait, should should I do that or should I not do that? Watching the previous journal writings before next trades?
no, you should do that.
Okay.
Yes. It's not that you have if you wrote a lot and you don't want to sit around and read, I know it might be annoying sometimes, but it's worth it at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, because in the past I have never looked back.
Yeah, you always have to look back. Some people do it at the end of the week, let's say on Sunday, right?
Hmm.
They think that if you read it at the beginning of the week, they will remember all of the stuff as the week opens. But it's the same thing that I always like tell people: don't analyze your charts on a Sunday or anytime during the weekend. Yes, it's okay to go over the markets to see, okay, this is what I need to do. But then I would prefer people who have a healthy relationship with the markets to do that instead. Someone who's looking for swing trades, if we were to go on the markets, or if someone, I know I did it once, if you go on the markets on Sunday, the moment the markets open on in the evening, right, that's when people lose a lot of money because they're just placing trades from what they were thinking is supposed to happen during the weekend.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's the same if you read your notes on a Sunday when the markets open, you are eager to put those things that you learned during the weekends in play to see if they'll work. But then you have to give the markets a little bit of a time to to get back into action, for them to week out people, take out stop losses before they can give us the actual moves.
Yeah, that's true. I did that often as well in the past.
I understand that. All right. I actually can give you an example if you want. Let's see. Do you see this area right here?
Yeah,
So you
the
see,
gold chart.
yeah, you see, this is a God chart, right? You see, this week right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a Sunday evening week. This was Asian Sunday market, and price made a new low, and then it never even went down to make a weak view or anything. So imagine
Mhm.
people who had been placing sales around here. The moment Sunday opened, probably a lot of people were looking to sell since market ended with a bearish view, right? So when markets opened and they saw this move happening, right, there's probably a lot of retail traders who ended up placing their sales around these areas, and they probably didn't have stop losses as well because they were expecting markets to continue going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
Um,
yeah.
no, I'm sorry. Just continue.
Yes. But then market reversed, made a low, and then it's been going up ever since. But then some people are stuck down here. I can tell you some people are still holding right now.
What? But that's like so far away.
I have seen it happening because no one wants to be wrong in the markets.
Yeah, that's true. Last week I had a similar mistake because I was also short in no, I was long in gold and then got out because of my stop loss hit me. And that was that wick field.
I you
And not
ex-
wick field, that was a wick. That was a big wick that stopped my trade.
Yeah, I understand that. I think it had some bullish feel, but then if you look at this setup, it had this setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. So if we look at the four, was it the 4 hour time frame? If we look at this area, should it be the 4 hour time frame? It had some sort of a bearish setup. Yeah, right here. You can see it properly on the daily.
Oh yeah, there's no new higher high.
Exactly.
Double top.
Exactly. You see how price made a high, like this was a long time high, right? And then this is the
Mm-hmm.
time when price dropped, and then it was around this area for quite some time, and people thought it was going to drop from here. But then
Mm-hmm.
we all know that gold normally most of the time it retests the highs or the lows, right? When it made this retest, people thought this was the time it was just going to fall. They thought that for me it was just going to fall, right? So when it made this new low, no one was expecting it to go any lower. It's like, okay, price made a new low, it can go higher, right? That's okay. I was also expecting that, right? But the moment this candle left a big wick up here, right? That was our sign that price was going to fall. So when it only needed news to make the break around here, because remember price had been trying to break around this area for quite some time now and it had been failing. So that this is when they say price was already priced in, and markets is just waiting for the time that that time that news can come out, right? And then they can make
Mm-hmm.
the move. So that long week was our signal that okay, price is now going to move. It is now giving us a bearish view.
True. Why do you think that big wick happened until 1670? And the that one?
This one. All right, if we look to our left, we had a low.
Ah,
Yes, we had a low right here, and it had,
ah,
see, price respected it twice already, right?
yeah.
I wouldn't have expected price to just break without giving us some sort of a range here, but then it didn't do
Mm-hmm.
that, right? It then pulled back up, which created a new low.
Mm-hmm.
and it was also respecting the same low that's around this area. So now this area becomes an order block because orders are getting filled right here and price
Right.
pushes back up. So we can actually expect this price, if this price does not reject these weeks, right? You see this area that price was having a hard time breaking. We can actually expect price to reach this area. As long as,
Okay.
as long as it does not reject, if it does not reject this week's, maybe this minor high, it might be coming for a retest for it to go lower. We could say that, but now looking at this area as an order block, orders are being filled around this area, right? We could actually expect price to maybe come back, give us some small range here or a new low, some retest, and even push higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing right now, before that gold drop happened, it retested the zone at 1840 around 2 times, right? Like it
Yes.
hit that 1, 2, 3, and then around August 15, I think it was, before it went up. And when we look at the left, it also retested that area for 2 times, like at the beginning of March, April, and then August. So it's
Yeah.
like a similar,
Similar
yeah,
pattern.
yeah.
God likes to do that. I normally say, or for God, my tips would be, if it didn't retest, right, I would wait. God likes to retest, so maybe if it retests the first time, that's fine. But if it doesn't break any low or high and it's still in the range, then I would expect it to retest the third time. Then I can start expecting a breakout. And I
Mm-hmm.
would not expect a breakout from a range if there's no fake out. The
No.
same, yes, you never expect God to break out from a range if it never done a fake out. It's the same thing with the action that's happening today, like right now, right here, right? Price made this move yesterday, right? And then it created this range.
Mm-hmm.
All of the whole of Asian price has been around here, right? So we can expect price to make some movements during London opening, but then there is no fake out in our range. So I'd expect maybe if this is a strong breakout, I would expect price to come back for a retest, right? If it closes above, then I can say, okay, yes, that's a breakout. Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if the next candle
Mm-hmm.
comes back into the range and we see price playing around this area again. Then I'll be expecting price to make a bearish breakout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, because there's no fake out at the bottom, so I can only expect maybe this was the fake out so that more people buy. Because I know people bought here because it broke out. It's been ranging. It broke out. People bought. So if people bought, that's fine. I get the breakout, but price hasn't retested yet. That's one. Two, there is no fake out. So I want to see what this candle does. If it closes back in the range, then I'm looking to enter for sales. Not long-term sales, but short-term sales. Yeah, they
So
would be there.
probably until 1770 for the sales.
Yes, yes.
The spectrum.
Our first target would be maybe somewhere around this
Ah, yeah.
area, because price found some resistance right here, right? Yes, it did
Mm-hmm.
make the breakout, but price did find some resistance, so there might be something on the lower time frames that's around here. So this will be our first targets, so that we put our stop loss on break even, then we can expect price to reach this low.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so that's something that we are looking for today. All right. And then the next thing on our list was how to create your trading journal. So
Mhm.
what I do, right? I don't write them, like I have three parts down, but I know how I place my notes as I trade. So I have the before, the during, and the after. So before, I'm always writing down If I make sure that I write down, did I exercise or did I do anything that doesn't have to do with any online stuff, just to keep your blood flowing, release the stress hormones, get your mind straight. That's why I said
Yeah.
you have to do something before you sit on the markets. Because if you don't, you're going to sit on the markets and you place a random trade just because you weren't in the markets before you wake up and you feel like you should be in the markets. And then I would say yes, you can write down your analysis. Like for what I wrote before I said here, right? When I saw before even the breakout happened, when I saw the market that it had done nothing on the range, I told myself, I wrote down, I'm not entering a trade until I see a fake out. So if I see a breakout happening, I'm going to wait to see how that breakout plays out. So if it retests, like I was saying earlier, if it retests and doesn't close back in the range, then I'm looking for the buys. But if it comes back down and stays in the range, then I'm looking for sales. So that was my plan before this breakout happened. So since now we have the breakout, right? I can now say, okay, now I'm waiting to see what happens. So I know I have my analysis, right? I know my thoughts. I worked out. I did everything. I haven't touched social media. Everything that I know right now is just tea. I even read. So I'm just preparing for this trade. Then for during, since I haven't entered, right? If it was during, I would write, okay, this is why I entered this trade. What gave me the final confirmation? Was it a candle or was it some sort of a breakout? Did I get my fake out? I'm writing those things down. Sometimes I can write my lot size or in the pair that I'm trading, the time frame, all of that stuff. But then the thing is, I have only been trading gold and I've been using the same lot size for the past couple
That's
of
all.
months now. Yeah, to work on discipline.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen you posted it on Instagram, right? The challenge you have done lately.
Yes.
That was a
Yes.
good one.
Thank you. Using 0.01 lot size, most of the trades were, I can't say swing trades, but I wasn't expecting them to hit the levels that I was expecting in the same day, but they were good trades. So using the same lot size, especially if it's 0.01, right? It teaches me not to expect quick profits from the markets. I have to give it the time that it needs.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the view that I'm looking at it from. And then on the trading setup notes, right, I have the layout that I will send you. Since I know you might want to trade more pairs than I do, so that setup that I have, right, it will be broken down into, let's say we have a column that says let's say trend continuation, trend breakout. So you write the
Mhm.
pair in that trend that broke out. I will send you the is it the spreadsheet, the layout? I have it, I'll send it to you. Or force breakout and things like that, like
Okay.
which pair is in that line. So if you have a breakout and you put it under that column, right, you can just go then look, okay, I'm looking at this pair, it broke out, so
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm expecting it to do. It's already in your chart. All you have to do is to set up your alerts on TradingView, right? So when price hits your alert and you get your alert, you go back to your notes and you see, okay, this is what I was expecting price to do, so this is what I'm gonna do next. That way it gives you the ability to have flawless execution.
Flawless
You
execution.
don't yeah you don't have to argue with yourself to enter a trade, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, you should just be able to enter a trade without having to think twice because you were expecting that trade to happen and it's happening the same way you were expecting it to, so you just have to be confident with it. All right, so that's the how to create your trading journal. And your emotions, don't forget to write your emotions.
The important part in trading.
Yes, yes. Also, another thing that I like to do, right? Sometimes, let's say something big happens in the market, right? And maybe I was expecting it to happen in another way, but it happens in another way that it teaches me something, right? Then when in moments like that, I like to, let's say, screenshot the chart, right? Print the picture, the chart, right? And then I stick it into my notes so that next time when I'm reading my notes and I'm trying to learn, I have the picture to see how it happened. Because, like we were realizing earlier, patterns always repeat themselves.
What do you print again? Which part from TradingView?
Well, normally I just save the picture, right? If you go on the screenshot area, I noticed they now have the option to save the picture. You can save the chart
Ah,
image, yes, and then you can just
nice.
print it out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
so
always do that or only on yeah, like special patterns or like that?
and not always, because some of the things you easily remember, but some things that I think are important I do, especially that news, this move. I even wrote some notes here. This news move, I wrote some notes here because from what I have experienced with news, market didn't do exactly that. The setup was there, but it didn't do what it normally does. So this was like a learning point. Like, okay, you know what it normally does during news, but it might also do it another way. So this I did set down, and something for me to remember was
Mhm.
when before news happens, right? Market normally moves to a high or to a low that it wants to reject. So if it wanted to do this breakout, I understand why it did this breakout, but normally market would have moved higher, maybe to retest this high before it goes any lower. So it would have come back up here before it went lower, or it would have at least stayed around this area before it went lower, but then price was
Mhm.
slowly moving down, of which it normally does not do that before news.
Yeah, true. But maybe it didn't retest again because it was already in that area for a
For a,
couple of days.
yes,
Like, for example, yeah, if we look at the left, uh,
I think it was there for a couple of weeks actually.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something that I overlooked. I should have remembered that. It's been there for a long time. I was expecting the sales though, but not as much as I was expecting the buys. Because market was slowly moving to the low. If it's slowly moving to the low, there are chances that it was going to reject and go higher. That was my view.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well, but it dropped.
Yeah, that's good. At least we're on the same side. That's good.
I have a question. If you go to the 1 hour time frame,
Yeah. 1 hour
and then can you zoom out to the left?
to the left,
Mhm.
like right here.
No, I think it's around August 9.
Alright. Around this
Ah,
area.
yeah, that
This one.
at 12 o'clock. Is that before the first drop happened at 12 o'clock? 12. Oh, at August 6th, I mean,
Alright.
12 o'clock. To the left, yeah, that one. Is that small green candle an order block or
Yes, that's an order block. That is a perfect order block.
okay? Because the area is right now um the chart is going to that area right now, to that zone.
And that's the area it has been having a hard time breaking for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me highlight it. Oh yeah, that is a nice order block. Oh yeah, it is the area that I was also looking at earlier on. Yes, that's an order block. Oh, good eye.
So there could be a possibility that if rejects that it could go down, right?
Yes, if it rejects right now successfully, if this 1 hour candle closes well, then we might see price move all the way down, but it has to break this low for it to continue going down.
Mm-hmm.
But
The
then that
one
will,
seven seven, right?
yes, but that would also say, that would also give us the view that price might be creating a range between these 2 points. Let's be
Yeah.
a range. That's a possibility.
True.
Nice.
Could also be, yeah.
That's very nice. So if it does reject this area, right? Let's say it does reject, and then let's say it manages to come all the way down here, right? If you see it going all the way back here, then we're expecting it to retest this area for it to go lower, all the way to
Mm-hmm.
the low of our range.
Okay. I'll be watching that.
That's good. All right. So the next point is how to review your trading journal and find your edge in the market. So, like I said earlier, the first thing I would suggest reading your notes before opening the market or before placing any trade, right? For you,
Mm-hmm. Right.
yeah, for you to understand like what you did wrong the previous day, and try your best. I don't know how to put it properly, but to not to criticize in a bad way, but you know how when you look at other people's work or opinions, right, you are trying to
Mm-hmm.
see, okay, they did this, what could they have done right, what did they do wrong, right? Try to do that with yourself only. So it's like, okay, I'm seeing this, but why am I seeing this? If I was someone else, would I do this? So one of the questions that I like to ask myself is, if I was just a random retail trader, would I do this? If it's a yes, then rethink your view. You understand what
If
I
I say
mean?
yes.
Rethink your whole view. It's a guide. You know how retail traders are?
Yeah, like me right now.
No, you're actually way better than you think. So if I was a retail trade, a proper retail trader, like, oh, not proper, I don't know the right word to put it, but if I was a retail trader and I was looking at this, I would tell my old self would tell me that I'm looking at market was ranging. I saw a breakout,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm entering buys to expect price to continue going higher. That's
Oh,
what
because retail traders don't wait for a
exactly.
confirmation.
Exactly right. But now, knowing more information than they do, I know that this might just be a fake out to make me enter more trades
Mm-hmm.
before price does what it actually wants to do. So if I was here and I'm like, what would a retail trader do? Okay, they would do this and this and this. Then I'm like, okay, what am I expecting? What am I not saying that I need to do? What's my analysis? If it's in line, then I have to see, okay, are they right or am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if it's in line,
Okay.
yes, I have to think differently than a retail trader. Sometimes they might be on the right side, that's good. So if they're on the right side and your analysis is confirming that they're on the right side, that's fine. But most of the times we have to think twice before we say, okay, this is what's happening. I can't say this is just a breakout yet. I have to wait for price to retest before it continues to go higher.
True.
All right. So also, when you read your notes, right, try identifying things that you could have done better, like patterns. Like if you keep on and saying, okay, today I'm gonna trade this lot size, right, but at the end of the day, if you look at your history, you traded, if you wanted to trade it maybe a 5 lot size, right, you ended up trading 10, and then the next day you did the same thing. Those are like patterns that you see for yourself. Okay, if I did this, if I keep on doing this, what do I really need to change here for me to actually succeed?
Mm-hmm.
So
Good point.
if you look at your losses, then you know, okay, I keep on losing because I keep moving my stop loss, or I keep trading without a stop loss, things like that. Or I'm not risky, my risk is not good at all. I also used to suffer with that one. It's the same thing with also winning trades. So if you also look at your winning trades or your winning days, you're trying to see, okay, what patterns did I do on this winning trades that I can do again the next day and the day after, so that you keep on having your winning strike.
Winning trade.
Yes. So also one important thing, right? Even if it's a losing day, on a losing day, there are also things that you would have done right, but markets just went on your side. So you have to take notes of those things, because just because you had a loss does not mean you did everything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you did the whole process, the whole setup perfectly well, but the trade only ended up, maybe you did some wrong management on your trade and things went wrong, right? But
Right.
there were right things that you did. You have to take note of those things, because you can't beat yourself up all the time. You have to lift yourself up also.
True.
However, that also doesn't mean that on your winning days, there are wrong things that you did, things that you weren't supposed to do, but you ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also very important.
So those things you always write down as well. I mean, like,
Or you're not looking at it in a way of, okay, I'm thinking, what did I do right or what did I do wrong, right? It's more
mhm.
of, if when you're writing your notes, I don't okay, for what I do, right, I don't target myself. When I'm writing my notes, I'm just writing them as if I'm writing in my diary. No one is judging anyone. I'm not saying I was wrong here, I was right. I'm not saying I'm looking to be wrong there, I'm looking to be right there. I'm just writing the notes as if I'm just writing something fun. But
Yeah.
when you read, right, that's when you go over them, like, oh, okay, so here I did this was wrong, I was not supposed to do this. So those can just be additional notes that you jot down, like when you're reading your notes, like, oh, okay, I'm seeing this and this more, I shouldn't be doing this, or I'm seeing this and it's actually helping me, maybe I should start practicing on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All right, and then, all right, also take note of the days that you had your most winning days and the days that you had your most losing days, and try understanding your emotions and thoughts on those days. Did I get into the markets thinking I need to make money? Or did I get into the markets because I felt like being on the market? There's a different.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you get into the markets just because you're a trader and you think that you should have a trade open. And some days we actually get into the market seeing something and we're like, I really want to trade this. I see this, things like that. And also, not when you're excited or when you're sad and you're in the markets. Just try seeing those things. You will see your interpretation of the markets when you're going through different emotions.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting.
Yeah,
No.
you're just being self-aware, so that we
Mm-hmm.
so that we can at least use the things that work in our advantage, and we can avoid the things that don't work in our advantage. All right,
Yeah.
I think that's all for today.
Okay, thank you. It was a great session.
Thank you.
Thanks. When would be the next one? Next week, right?
Yes, next week Monday.
Okay. All right. I
For
hope
for
that will work out.
Yeah, but for this week, you still have 2 more days that you need to be awake by 7 a.m. Exercise
Mm-hmm.
before, no social media. Then you can look at the markets. After that, you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then you also have to write down your notes. At least if you don't write them today, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. You can try again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And also, if I don't, also if I'm not trading, should I also journal
If you're not
my thoughts about the market?
if you're not trading, you can, if you are willing to. You don't necessarily
Mm-hmm.
have to, but some days, even if I don't look at the markets, even if I'm not trading, some days I just write down what I was thinking about the markets, how I'm feeling. Am I missing the markets, or was I just okay with not being on the
Yeah.
markets? Yeah, things like that. I just like to write it down and see, like, how my behavior is, how my relationship with the markets is like developing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think that's all. So next
Okay.
So next week, Monday, again,
Mm-hmm.
7 a.m.
7
But
a.m.
yes, but for this week, try doing everything
Mm-hmm.
that we just learned, right? So that we can see what we need to adjust for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and when you're starting this trading journal, right? It would be best if you start with a new one.
With a new one.
Yes, don't use your old one.
Okay, then I probably need to buy a new one.
Yes, and writing down, don't do it on the laptop. You have to write it down. There's a benefit
Mm-hmm.
to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have noticed that as well because in the past I have been doing both, like on the laptop or and on my notebook, and it was always better if I wrote them down
Yes,
uh in my notebook.
it also makes it easy for you to remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. Through writing. Okay, then I wish you a good day and a nice week, and see you on Monday.
All right, same to you.
By the way, where should we chat? Through Telegram or through another communication platform?
Yeah, that's actually on my task. Let me research on that one and then I'll let you know.
All right. Okay, okay. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you, you too.